Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good.
That is a beautiful background. What is that?
That is a quill.
That makes
That's right.
sense. That makes sense.
That's right.
Now, are you the type to write on notepads or do you like writing on the computer?
Hmm. What does that mean? You mean for
Like when you're writing, do you like actually like pen on pad or do you like writing, typing it out when you're writing your
you
script?
know what it is? Because I'm writing for clients, and so generally I spend about a week with them.
Mm.
You're gonna have to follow me because
Where we going?
I spend about a week with them, and usually I journal. I wake
Oh.
up, I go to sleep with them. I journal the story. So by the time that we have our sessions to write, I'm just going. So I pretty much have it mapped out. Then I
Mm.
have to add their energy on top because I write for clients, not for myself too much, which I'm gonna do that pretty soon.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, you as well. You haven't seen the space since we redecorated.
No, not at all, actually.
I have to
So
take you and your people on a tour.
I've definitely got to do that. That place is beautiful. That place is
Right.
absolutely beautiful. Tell me about how you've been handling everything with coronavirus and quarantine. Uh, let's jump into that.
Okay, so like everybody else, either you're gonna come out crazy or not.
I join you. I join you on that. Yes,
So
we met
listen,
with wine. Actually, we met with wine.
11 o'clock wine? Why
That's right. That's right. So
not? So
how
yes.
have you been handling like family, friends?
Here's the thing. So I play indoor sport. I write. So I'm typically off in seclusion anyway.
Right.
The only difference is, everyone else is too. So I don't get this same enjoyment of like peeking out, checking out, let's see what people are doing and coming back in. But with family, I have two boys.
Mm.
So keeping them under wraps, they're not young, but keeping that 17-year-old under wraps and believing that he needs to be safe is a challenge.
I
But
can definitely believe that.
yeah, but otherwise, like, I went back home for about 2 months, so that was good because
Mm.
I got grounded again. Atlanta is good. You move and you move and shake in these parts, but I have to go back to the city to be grounded. So I got to go back home to the D, be around my family where life is real simple. They love and care on you. If you sick, it's like three people over your house trying to make sure you got what you need. Like I love going back home. So I just really reconnected with my family because
That's beautiful.
yeah, those are my people.
That's beautiful. Well, I do want to talk about a little bit of where you're from and how you grew up. Like, what was your process? How did you know you wanted to be a writer?
Well, I think what most writers or maybe actors, any creative would say, it was already in them. So it's not like, oh, you want to do this thing because I don't know if I would have chosen it. I definitely wouldn't have chosen it. So I've been writing and observing for a very long time. And growing up in the inner city of Detroit, people take like smart or observant kids who can pick out things. Oh, you must be a doctor, a lawyer, engineer. Those, writing, how you gonna make money? Like that doesn't come into the purview of a parent at that time
Right.
because it's just not it just wasn't happening in the 80s and 90s when I grew up. So I've always known I was going to be a writer in some form or fashion, but I thought it was going to be novel writing. So yes, I did the trajectory of AP courses, writing contests in high school, all that good stuff. But then I went to pre-med.
Mm.
So that wasn't the move. That wasn't
At
the move.
all.
No. So at any rate, I ended up trying to write a novel for like 10 years.
Mm.
And it just was going nowhere but notebooks on notebooks, going nowhere. In any case, I stumbled into writing. Someone was like, hey, I got this script. I'm having a problem with this writer. They weren't directing towards me.
Mm.
But I was like, well, let me try. Let me just see what I can do. So this is crazy because Airbnb actually contacted me last year about this story.
Wow.
I went and rented an Airbnb, a tiny house,
Mm.
and I stayed in there till I finished the script.
How long did it take you? How long did it take you to do that?
It took me, well, it was like 2.5 days, 3 days.
Oh, that's not
And I
bad.
came back out and I was like, here it is. And they were like, what? It's already done? I'm like, I think so. So, long story short, we have some good people in the city
Mm.
that sent my script to Daphne Reed, which is the second up Viv. And she busted my ass, you know. She was like, here's all the reading because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And I was like, and but I read it and I will read it again. And I
Mm.
said, thank you very much. And I cried in the corner, got back up, did it again. And, here we go.
Love that. So, what created that level of passion or commitment when you were so new at it? Like to say, I'll try it again.
It's a bug. I will say this. This is how you know. People say find your purpose, find your passion, find your
Right.
purpose. It's not, I don't think it's about that. I think you find what gives you energy that you can't sleep at night without.
Oh,
And that's
yes.
it.
Yes.
So once I realized I had done everything, I had done acting, I did a whole one woman show. Everything was fine. But this thing got a hold of me and it wouldn't let go.
Yes.
So that's it. I didn't care what the means were. I said, okay, for the next 2 years, what I'm about to do is I'm gonna for everybody I can find. So I found a producer. I said, give me everything you got. And I wouldn't stop until it was right, until it was correct. And I got my chops.
I love that. Like, there's a reason why I felt like we connected when we met because number one, the pre-med. I definitely was pre-med when I went to school. My parents, I
Are
actually had a
you?
full scholarship to Norfolk State, and my parents were like, "Okay, you definitely going because it's a full ride." And I realized in that moment, like I got there and I hated it. And I actually had I had all honors classes. So I had an honors English teacher that said, "Wow, your writing
Yeah.
is really good." And it wasn't even a semester later. I was already dropping that scholarship and stayed in school and went ahead and graduated with an English degree. So I get it. It's
So you were smarter than I was. Because I was a knucklehead. So that's smart. You knew to go with
Oh, it was a
it.
lot of nice because that was a full scholarship and we got a stipend. So I was back to my ramen noodle days because of that. I was living
God.
good. I was living real good. But I get it.
Wow.
Like writing when it's in you, because I'm a writer too. When it's in you,
Yes.
it is in you, and
Yeah.
the characters talk to you. I literally my first novel. I was riding back from New York. I had taken a trip all the way from Charlotte to New York, and these characters on the way back just started speaking to me. Nobody believes that, but they just started speaking, and I literally had a whole book in my head by the time I got
There
back
it
to
is.
Charlotte.
There it is.
There it is. But you write a
I mean,
lot of other people's stuff.
well, here's where I found that I was good somehow, some way. I'm I found my sweet spot with somebody else's work.
Mm.
Now that's strange, right? Because it doesn't even make sense. But I
But
have
does
a
it?
way of, and not everybody can do it.
That's
Like I'm a
true.
producer's writer, and if you need a story told, I will sit with you and I'll be your conduit.
Mm. I love that. I love that.
I'm really am good at. I do it fast. I do it with usable pages. People say do things fast, but I do it with usable pages.
I'm like, yes, usable pages.
Right?
Do you have a system? Because like for me, I'll play a little classical or jazz or something neo. So it depends on the mood I'm in. Like what is your method when you're writing?
Wait, so when you wait, I'm gonna answer your question, but I gotta know. You put on the radio, then what you do? You sit down at the computer, like what's your what is
So
that?
right now, like
Just
right now, if I
on,
could show you,
do
okay, if I
it.
could show you what I got going on, like right here is a laptop,
Uh,
and right here is a laptop. So I
see
would
your
literally go in and be playing on one and typing on the other.
okay.
I
You
mean,
figured it
it's
out.
real. It's real. It works for me. I don't know. It works.
Now I'll say this for me. So this is what I do. I sit with a client. So I just started really this year and it's gotten better. I really find it a phenomenal process. So I have producer sessions
Mm,
where we sit for 6 hours a day
mm,
and I write with them. like where I'm listening to them talk about the script. I'll take a moment, we pause, we go through it. So every page is they're agreeing to, and then I just write, and they got 5 pages, and I go to the next day.
Wow.
So I write for, on command almost, right? I don't have to have inspiration because I think it's somebody else's story. That's really what's going on.
Right.
But I have to be in my same space. So I have my office upstairs, and it's set up, I don't know if it's feng shui or what, but it's set up perfectly for me. So no, I don't have music or anything. Sometimes I'll get to that. But the truth is, if I'm sitting by myself, I will procrastinate the hell out of a day. Let me tell you, I got everything to do.
50 million at one. Right, 50 million at one things, right.
Yeah, so I would get on a cooking show. Like, I'll do everything not to write that script. So when I put the producer there, it's a job, and I got to clock in, clock out. So I found out what works for me.
That's good.
Because I love to say I'm researching. I'm streaming. I mean, I'm streaming.
Right, researching. Yeah, I've been there. Trust me. I put my phone on do not disturb, so that nothing's vibrating, nothing's rattling, nothing's, because I will easily get distracted. Trust me. But I think for me, like, the music does keep me centered. Like, if it's on, then I won't get on YouTube, because that's conflicting sounds. So that's just how my brain works. But
I get that.
But I get it. Like having your space, creating your energy. You say it's not feng shui, but what else do you have in there besides a desk and some chairs?
The main thing that's sitting there is I do another tool. So I have a timer, and that means a all focus timer. And when the timer goes out, that means I can be free. So I always say give in to your procrastination. Just do it in intervals. So I gave my 45 minutes to the script, and then I'll just procrastinate. And that's really it. Now, when I finish a script, a drink is a must.
Celebrate.
Celebrate. I usually eat Jennings ice cream. But so I have to buy about a pint now. That's a little different. But that's that. What else is in there? I do have a radio, but pretty much it's it. Of course, a whiteboard.
Yes.
We got to talk this thing on out. So I have a whiteboard, my desk. Yeah, but it ain't much. And food, gummy bears, and natural licorice keeps me writing.
I'm with
that. That's pretty much my kit.
I'm with that. Good job. You've been working on some projects recently, like one that has your name on it, which is Gaslight.
What's Gaslight?
Champion.
Oh, God.
Like, how I know more than you right now about your life. I do my research, but Lord.
That was 6 projects ago.
But you were working on that with Kay, right? Kay Singleton?
Really, that's I was just here to be Kay's hi. I was just here to be Kay's support. That's really Kay's project. I just stayed around for support.
You're so humble. Really, I love it. It's so humble.
Come on in. Look, I have some. Yeah, come on. Y'all come on in. Nice to meet you. Y'all go ahead and go around.
You got to stay working. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all, actually.
Right.
But you have your company as well. The one that you're on right now, Bridge 17. For you, how did you know you wanted to start that?
I couldn't find it, and that's really it. I didn't do it by choice. I didn't even want to. It wasn't about that. I was looking for what I needed in Atlanta, couldn't find it, so I said I'll try it out. And really, it was the members of Bridge 17 who developed it, meaning they were like, we need this, we need that, and they told me who I should be in this community. It wasn't on me.
Wow.
I just, like I normally do in everything else in life, I usually just rise up.
Just let it flow and the cream rise to the top.
It wasn't like I didn't set out, but what I love is I said when I started, I don't want to be the only one. What I definitely wanted, because I don't fit everybody's personality. I'm a great personality and I'm a great help, but I realized that there are different voices. And so that people I wanted to have multiple writers' rooms in Atlanta, multiple places where people can go for resources, and we have it. We have it.
Yeah.
So that excites me.
That's beautiful. It really is.
That goes down in history books for me.
Yes.
Is that it didn't exist, and all of a sudden people go, "Oh, well, this can be done, so let's do it." And they did it, and they tweaked it, and they, here we are. And so we have multiple ones, and I really love it.
Oh. What kind of
Oh, who is this?
instructor
Hey,
are you?
Shaniqua.
I know, right? You
What's
get
that?
love in here. What kind of instructor are you when you're presenting?
Oh, I don't know if I could. Can I answer that question? So I call myself pragmatic. When you leave my class, you're going to leave with the tools that you need to at least get that section of whatever it is I was going over done. So I'm extremely pragmatic, and I'm about the page. It's not I've been told that, my feelings are hurt, but it's really not about the feelings, it's just about the work.
Right.
But those who have stayed with me, Shanique was one that's in here. Those who have stayed with me for a long time, they know they've gotten better. Their scripts have gotten better. They've gotten looks because of now that they can communicate like a writer. So, okay, Shanique said I'm a no nonsense cut to chase instructor. Samara said she plays no games. So there it is.
There it is.
But here's the point. Everyone has a voice because they lived a life, and
Yes.
all their voices are very unique. However, what happens is sometimes we curtail and try to shape our voices to fit in the box that we see already versus the true box that we live in.
Yes.
So that's where I come from. No, I see who the heck you really are. So let's talk about that. Let's not try to hide in what you think you should be.
That's good. Woo. How did you find your own truth? Like, how did you get to a place where you found your own voice, found your own confidence? How did you get there?
Life.
See, that'll do it every time.
No, at some point, I'm older, right, than most folks in the field now. I've lived a lot of life. My oldest son is 23, so life. No one appreciates the fake you.
Say that again.
Quick question.
Just downstairs.
Just the downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. So the front part, right?
Here.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. We're running a business too.
Hello. I'm for it. I love it. I love to see it. That's what we do. This is raw right here. We talk from the heart.
This is it.
So I love
This is
it.
the only way I can fit together. All right.
So you said life. Now you have 2 kids. How was it raising your 2 kids as a mom who has 2 boys, right?
So in the definition of it, I raised my children without their father in the home. Okay, so that qualifies me as a single mom, but it's totally inaccurate.
Okay.
It's totally inaccurate. I had a lot of family support. I had a great dad as a co-parent. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And then I didn't suffer socioeconomically. Like I didn't suffer in that manner. So I still lived the life I wanted to live. Thank God
Yes.
that I could. Thank God I had the means to do so. I still ran businesses. Thank God I had the means to do so, understanding wherewithal. Thank God. But I just had great people in my life. So it's hard to say that I was a single parent. So was it hard trying to figure things out? Absolutely. Did God give me everything I needed? Absolutely.
God is good, yo. Like for real. Seriously. I love that. So what are you working on next? Like I know some people are asking when you're gonna open back up, but what are you working on next? What's in your
Have people asked when I'm open back up?
Yeah.
Really? Y'all don't know. June 1st, next week.
Oh, come on.
So no, we're open now. People are booking our space and all that good stuff. But yeah, we open June 1st next week for classes. Yeah.
You're ready for it too.
Trying to think, what can I say? That's what I was really running through. What can I say without breaking confidentiality?
Right.
I'll tell you what I'm working on personally. For my birthday, I have a big project coming up that's going to be released. I have another documentary that actually came about from yesterday, a post that I made. So that's in the works. And I have a few films that are, we'll see what happens.
Yes, all right. I love it. I love to see your energy is so bright. And you mentioned having that love in your family and having a lot of support around you. Was the home life just like that, where everybody was like upbeat and chipper and just chill?
Okay, so I have 12 brothers and sisters, right? Okay, so listen, I'm the baby girl.
There it is.
But I pretend like the other one doesn't exist, so I'm the baby. No. But that being said, my parents were together for years, and I grew up in a two-parent household. Great, all that good, well and good.
Quick question. So
Yes.
we can play music here at this location?
Yeah, it's already set up.
Okay, and then we can decorate, right?
As long as there's no confetti.
No confetti.
Yeah.
I just want balloons.
It's
Probably
No,
you
no
good.
confetti.
Okay, perfect. And then
No confetti.
Y'all want to see my guest that's giving me all of this? She don't care about this live.
She's like, hey, look, we gotta get this done. That's what's happening right now. They're like, we gotta get this done. Look,
Right.
this is
Good,
real
you
life.
good to go.
It's
Well,
I'll see you soon.
okay, bye.
like, this is real life right here. We gotta get this done, okay?
About this live. I can't be mad, but it's what happens.
Right. Look, you getting your money and I ain't mad at it, okay?
So at any rate, what I was saying was I grew up with a big family and I demanded my attention. So, but more importantly, I grew up in Detroit.
Yeah.
And my father was, I was initially raised in the nation. So imagine Nation of Islam in Detroit where it began in the 80s and 90s. Very interesting background there. But I was a daddy's girl. So he imparted on me who I was supposed to be, who I am, making sure I read about my history. And Detroit, growing up at that time, was 100% black. I didn't see white. I didn't see anything else for myself. I didn't even know what colorism was until I got to like 25. I was like, what? Colorism? What you talking about? Like, everybody's beautiful. What do you mean? So all of those things and racism didn't exist for me in my little bubble. So like that brings about, I think that kind of culture for me personally, what I got from it, it brings about like a very grounded individual.
Absolutely.
So, and to be honest with you, as a young mother, I'll tell you why I'm really like bright. But as a young mother, I've been in situations where there's no way I would have gotten out of but God. And after you have so many of those, how dare you be upset? How dare you be angry? How dare you, you know what I mean? How dare you misalign your gifts? How dare you? So, yeah. You know what I mean?
That's a word right there. You got to honor it. You got to really speak to that thing. I mean, it truly is a gift when you come out of certain things and you come out unscathed, or you come out just alive. Sometimes is the blessing, like just to say I made it. And you may have some bumps and bruises, but to say that I made it can sometimes be the bigger blessing than anything else. So I'm glad that you have that testimony to say that. And for you, like you mentioned, you had the support of your family and your ex. How was it with the breakup? Like, was that something that really impacted your kids? Was it a smooth transition for them?
Oh, you want to get into a relationship?
Yeah, okay. Talk a little bit. That's
Sips wine, not tea. But let me say this. I've always been blessed to have great men in my life. And I also have been blessed to have discernment to know when they're supposed to end. Therefore, I haven't shown anything, even in the worst case scenarios. I don't think I've shown anything but love and support and appreciation for their teachings.
That's good. That's smooth. That was smooth right there. That was a write-up. That was definitely a writer. That was definitely a writer. And you have chosen to remain single by choice, from what I heard, right?
Oh, who told you this, good sister?
Somebody, a
Look
brother
at
got
me
to do
to
his
take.
research. A brother got to do his research. Reese says hello. Hey, Reese.
No, dang, yeah, I'm single until I'm ready.
What's ready feel like for you?
I'm giving myself to my business at this moment, so I don't actually want an interruption in that space. And I do believe a relationship needs to have its own energy,
Mm,
so I don't want to cheapen it in any manner.
that's good.
And I'm just not exactly there in my personal goals to be, with someone who may possibly, if you distract me a little bit, I know for sure I'm gonna exit left.
So
And
without fail, without question,
for
to the
sure.
left, to the left. I got you.
So I don't think that's good for a developing relationship. So I'll get there, but it's gonna have to be really easy or really on my terms.
I love that. I love that you have taken ownership of where you are, because there are so many people that know in their heart they're not ready, but they're just so used to having it, or they're so desperate for it that they will force it into to fit somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to fit, so I'm gonna make it fit. Yeah.
I I suppose.
I'm glad that's not what you're doing. I'm glad that you
Oh
actually,
yeah.
yeah, that
I
you see it's not worth it to do that, because it's going to end badly. I mean, that's the reality.
I give so like I don't know if I know most ladies. I know a lot of y'all on here too. Y'all are like me. When y'all give, you give 100-fold.
Yes.
Like everything is given.
Mm.
And who wants to be taken advantage of in that situation? So with that being said, and I'm ready to give you nothing until you give me something kind of situation.
Yes. Yes.
So,
That's gonna go on my wall of truths right there. I'm ready to give you nothing until you can give something. That's it, right?
right.
I'll give you something. There's gonna be nothing, right?
Right. So I don't, but I've been in a situation where short story, I took a whole year where I was like, I'm just going to love on myself for a whole year. I didn't talk to anybody else. I'm going to love on myself for a whole year. And I journaled every year. I read the love chapter, second Corinthians, Lord.
You
But I read it every single day and I journaled to learn it, to understand. It took a whole year. So when I got into a relationship, I was at peace. But this particular individual wasn't, they were totally like unnerved by like, what are you doing? Like, why are you loving me this way?
Ooh, yes. They couldn't receive it. They couldn't receive it because they hadn't
They
seen it
couldn't
before
receive
or
it.
experienced. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, you know, it was pretty good. It was a
Mhm.
good lesson.
That
I
is a
liked
good
it.
lesson. I mean,
I mean, it
I
was
think
hard.
you
I
have
had
to
some
take
tears. Yeah, I had tears. Trust me, don't get me wrong. Plenty of tears.
it.
But it was worth it.
Mm. Look at you digesting stuff all easily now. I know now. That's a hard lesson. A lot of people have a hard time being able to digest what they actually went through and extract the nutrients out of it, if you will.
Right.
I think that shows so much maturity, that you're able to see that something that could, for most people, feel bad. Loss is bad for most people. That you actually see the positive in that. And I tell,
Mm.
because I always tell people, date often, date until you know yourself enough to know what you really want and don't want. You know,
Now that's the question. Are you supposed to date a lot?
I agree with dating. And here's why. Like, okay, all right, how many cars do you research before you know what car you want? How many houses do you research before you know which house you want to buy? Yes, there are those rare times when you will see the house of your dreams after Googling new house one time. But most people end up doing a lot of research. And it's the same thing. You can, until you really are clear. Like I'm house hunting right now, right? And what I've been doing is going and looking at different homes to say, you know what? I do not like that floor. I would never want that in my living room. I will definitely want that in my attic. No, I don't want my garage to look like that. And the only way to get that is either to have someone who you've been able to watch their life closely enough that you can learn through osmosis, if you will, or that you have the personal experiences yourself. And sometimes it's just good to investigate by dating and by getting yourself out there and trying and failing and trial and error and you know, just doing it. It's a lot like science. You were pre-med, so you know, in science where you keep on testing your hypothesis. Like, this is what I want. And you say, okay, well, let's test it. And then you get it and you realize, oh, that ain't what I want. That is not yielding the results that I thought I was going to be happy with. So you go back and try again. I don't think people should be afraid of that.
Okay. So I don't mean to throw a wrench.
Throw a wrench.
But I got questions.
That's what we
I
do.
got questions. I need your help.
Come on.
So here's the thing. When I get a new car, I know exactly what it is I want. And I wait and I wait and I wait. Right now, I have my little plot, my little land. I have my house plan.
Yes.
Okay? I know exactly what I want at that house.
Yes.
I know what the furniture, I have it already designed.
Yes.
Now it's just waiting on it to show up. Like waiting on the means to get where I need to be. But I'm one of those people, like, it's time for a 2-door sport versus my SUV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's how I roll. But I expect my people to roll the same way.
Yes.
My mate to roll the same way. I like shape a man. Now, I'm crazy. I'm going to tell you, back in my early 30s, anybody want this? I got it. I had a 92-point Excel sheet.
Come on
all the traits of a man that I wanted. And if I went on a date and I put you in the trait sheet and you got over 85%, I would date you again. If you didn't, you would drop.
You need to send that to me. You are sending that to me, okay? You are sending that to me.
I got it. So listen, I was very analytical. So I went, and then from there, I said, oh, okay, now I understand who I am. So I know my weaknesses and my strengths. Now I understand the person that I need in my life.
Mm. That's good.
So, but that wasn't you know what I mean? So I'm a little weird.
I don't think that's weird. I don't think that's weird at all. That was actually exactly my point. That you have gotten to the point where you are clear on what you want.
Yes.
And clarity is the thing that you need in order to have the best mate. That's why you can walk into the car dealership and get the car you want. That's why you know which road. Now look, it may be that you know pretty much what you want, like the 2-door sport, right? So you know you want that. You get there and then you realize, you know, I thought I wanted this one particularly, but then I didn't realize y'all had that one right there. So there are moments when at least you're on the right road, you know, like on the two-door coupes, at least you are on the right road to see what you want. I think having that clarity helps you narrow it down even more so you're not wasting time on the SUVs anymore.
Got you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's
okay.
Good. That's good.
Okay, you resolved it. All right.
No, I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy to have, my whole point was that you have to have a concept, an idea of what you want. You will never have your ideal, because ideal is a lot of times faulty, you know, but you can definitely get your what you really kind of wanted, in the sense that I'm on the right road and I'm on the right in the right lane, you know, and in that you will ultimately match up with what you want.
I just saw Anita say you get clarity from knowing who you are as a person first. And that's it.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. As long as I have a relationship, and I will always have a relationship with myself. I love myself. I'm my best friend. I got good skin. I rub my own booty.
Hello.
Like, I'm good.
Come on, Robin. Come on, Robin.
I'm good. Sorry if that's too much for y'all.
Not at all. It's the heart.
But I love, like,
it's what we
really
do. Yeah.
I do my sugar scrub for myself.
Take care of your parts. I know that's right. Look, that is exactly true. Most relationships that end up failing pretty fast, they're failing because somebody loses their identity. They lose the piece of them that is most them. And it is, while it is common for people who are spend a lot of time together to begin merging identities, you still have to keep a major part of your own, because ultimately that's what attracted the person to you. They didn't attract to themselves, they attracted to you. And so you got to keep yourself in the relationship to keep it interesting.
I have a real question for you that I've been pondering since I knew this call was coming up. I see so many YouTubers and relationship coach and men. They like your big brother. They give you like you give a lot of good information. Like, like thank you for that.
Absolutely.
But what I don't see is the same veracity for men. Like, they don't have to work on themselves, have a relationship with themselves. They just be out here doing whatever, no growth, just whatever. What are they working on? Why we gotta work on so much?
Yeah, I get it. I as a man, I will tell you, I have had my own challenge with that. Now, I can speak very directly to what I think is the reason behind that. Number one, it is hard for a man to admit that they aren't it. They're supposed to be it. The man is supposed to have it together. They're supposed to have their finances right. They're supposed to have their mind right. They're supposed to have their looks tight. They're supposed to have their edge up tight. Everything's supposed to be tight on a man. Women definitely get a little more leeway to have a little more freedom in their flowy dresses, and you can go. I can go natural today. All of that. Men have to be more polished in order to be considered eligible and somebody who's worthy of having the woman of their dreams. That is it. There's a lot of weight on men's shoulders in order to be. And in that being, what happens is you have two types of guys. You have the one that's going to be the one that realizes that he wants to be that, and he will do the things to improve himself and fix himself. He'll take the classes, he'll watch the YouTube videos, he will work on himself, and he will be confident that working on himself is okay. Then you have the other brother who will fake it till he makes it. And that is the one that you're talking about right there. You are talking about the brother who is willing to play a role in order to be what you want him to be. But ultimately, that mask that he's wearing that shows that he's mature eventually fades off. It falls off because it's not real. Okay. And so you have those two. Now, what you have to be able to do a little easier is see behind the mask. So what you have to do is ask key questions. Like, for instance, question I asked about you and how you are and who you are. You were able to tell me my family. This is how I grew up. These are the things that made me who I am. These are the kind of questions you have to be able to ask somebody, a man, in order for him to reveal, like, okay, you say you're this person, right? So how did you get this way? And if he can't come up with, this is just who I am, if that's the only answer, then that's not real. Because growth is dirty. Growth is not easy. Growth doesn't look cute. And so there has to be some stories that show that I've been through something, I experienced something. I was on a call with Divine the other day, and we were talking about your baggage is actually a blessing. You need people in your life that have baggage, because when you have baggage, like you got the kids, you got family drama, you got the stuff that you have been through. That is experience you can draw.
That's right.
That is stuff that you can say, I've lived through this and I know life, and I'm clear. I'm clear on what I want and what I don't want. I know what I don't want to experience again. I've been through it, been there, done that, right? And what they've learned from that is invaluable. So
got it.
So yes, those are the two types of men. The brother you want is the one that's not afraid or ashamed of growth and development, of saying, you know what, I'm wrong. You know what? Yep, let me try that again. That's the brother that you got to find. But the only way to do that is to ask the right questions up front.
Do you have a question book? Or
you know what? I'm gonna write that down right now.
I'll give you my 92 points.
We'll do an exchange on that one, because I'm definitely, that's gonna come in handy. So yes, I will write the questions you should ask a man to figure out if he's really mature.
Yes.
Yes.
and drinks wine.
Sips on that.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Like, again, your energy is always so sincere, but I have noticed that most creatives have that energy that is natural, organic, real, raw, especially the ones who have lived through something.
Hmm.
And so, do you feel like you connect easily with other creatives?
I connect easily with writers,
Okay, gotcha.
and most of the time produce true producers, real true to heart producers who develop writers. Yep.
I love that. How do
The
you,
other side of creative.
yeah. I get that. I get that. The people that are normally behind the scenes a little bit more doing a
Or
lot
in
of it.
front of the camera. Everybody know I'm a writer, not an actor.
I
That's a
get that.
different kind of energy. And I love them. I
Yeah.
love them to pieces,
Know your
but they're
space.
different.
Know your
They're different.
space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know my lane, and it doesn't go over there.
Well, thank you so much for being with me today. Like, this is so awesome. Got to actually get to know you a little bit better here. A fellow med student, pre-med student,
Yeah.
term life.
Wait, dropout, pre-med dropout.
Right,
That's what we
pre-med
are.
dropout. That's real life right there. That's real life. No, but you are
Well, look,
amazing.
thanks for having me. I appreciate you even thinking of, that I'm somebody you want to talk to on these lives. So I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all of the comments. Y'all are live in this in these
They're real today. They're real today. You got all your
hey.
people. Your people. Of course, we saw Anita and Melange and
Yeah.
Bears and Tops PR. So shout out to
No.
Tops and everybody who joined in today
Will
and
this
made this happen.
will this be on YouTube?
Yes,
Because that's where I get all my good stuff from.
it's on YouTube. It's gonna be on YouTube.
Okay, I'm gonna have to subscribe. You have your channel, right?
Yeah,
Hit that subscribe button. Now, what's
hit
the
that
channel?
subscribe button. Byron Jamal, do it, y'all. All
Let
the
me.
full videos are on there, and we're gonna add yours to the mix. So tell us where we can find you, and especially for those who are writers or want to be writers, where would they find you?
Well, you can find me at Bridge17. That's the Instagram, AZ the Writer, or bridge17.com. We just opened up a new site, still looking through a couple of things, but the new site has a forum for writers, so you guys can talk amongst each other in a private group, so you have to subscribe to get in. I think that's imperative for us getting out our emotions, our understanding, our knowledge in one central place. I
That's
know
good.
Facebook and all that exists, but bridge17.com, if you subscribe to the forum, I have notes on there on how to deal with clients, on how to just manage the business altogether. Because at the end of the day, yes, we're creative, we're great writers, but we also have to manage the business of who we are.
That's good.
So that's all on bridge17.com. It just came out May 17th. So please look out for that and just subscribe. I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Well, I might get on there myself, being a writer and all. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. And I'll have to get your opinion on the book too. Make sure it's looking right. The new book coming out. Thank you again, love. It's been amazing. Thank you, Izzy. You are like a phenomenal woman. Just keep doing your thing and inspiring us with what you do and how you do it. Keep on living your life real.
All right. Bye, Byron. I appreciate you having me. Thanks, Priscilla and Leslie Tops. Hey,
Yes,
y'all.
yes. You have a beautiful day. Take care, dear.
Bye.
All right.